I've used dozens of LED lights, but this one is definitely the most versatile. But if you were to ask me which light to get the first, would I recommend this one? Let's find out. So is Amaran 150C that versatile? Yes, because it combines both warm and cool LEDs for CCT range of 2500 Kelvin to 7500 Kelvin, but also a full set of RGB LEDs that can give you any hue, and those are quite bright as well. Also, this combination of LEDs gives you a green magenta shift capabilities in regular CCT mode, which is super important to be able to get extremely accurate skin tones and to match this light with any other ambient lights or other lights in your kit. There are two versions of this light, 150C and 300C, which has double the firepower for extra $200. But in my opinion, 150 watts is more than enough for a lot of use cases such as talking heads, interviews, YouTube, content creation, and so on. For example, here I use the 90cm softbox with a grid at 1 meter away from me, and I shoot at f2.8 and ISO 800, the base ISO for S-Log 3, and I expose really bright. If you were to use standard picture profile, you could use ISO 100 easily, and also both 150C and 300C feature very high color accuracy of CRI and TLCI at 95+, and more importantly, tungsten SSI of 83 and daylight SSI of 71. Don't think that those numbers are quite low. SSI score has a different measurement, and those numbers are great. And for the colorful LEDs, they are plenty bright for different scenarios like creating colorful backgrounds, as I show you in this example. And what I like the most is that the kit reflector provides you with very even beam of light, giving you a nice boost in firepower without producing nasty hotspots and weird outlining towards the edges of the beam, both in CCT mode and in color modes. So we've talked about good features of Amaran 150C, but what are its three main cons? First, the carrying case made out of foam. Don't get me wrong, it's fine and it's much better than a cardboard box of Amaran 100D or a foam case of Amaran 60D for instance, because it was a true nightmare to put the light and cables back to the case. With 150C it's much easier, there is more room, but still it's a proprietary case, so you cannot put anything else in there. Also, it doesn't have a shoulder strap, and all in all, I'm not that confident in its durability if you plan on using it not in the studio permanently. I would much rather get a carrying case like this to be able to get some extra accessories and even lights with me in a single bag. Second, lack of battery power options and quite short cables. Of course, you can use a power generator if you absolutely need to, but it's not as convenient as having a V-mount powering option, and you'll definitely need to carry an additional extension cords with you. Third, no DMX control or other probe connections. Yes, for the price, I do think it's a sin to ask for DMX control. And also the Sidus Link app is super useful, and you can connect a lot of lights into groups to mimic DMX control, but a lot of pros are looking for a more budget-friendly yet versatile light for their kits. Just something to think about for the future generations of this light. Amaran 150C isn't small, and the COB itself weighs 2.5 kilograms and the whole kit is 4.5 kilos. The build quality is nice, yes it's partially plastic, but a very durable one. Plus it's made out of metal in the most important parts like yoke and mounting point. And the bones mount is also pretty stiff. Oh, and there is an umbrella holder. Nice touch. The power brick is a bit bulky, but a metal strap allows you to easily hang it on a stand. The control elements are simple even for a newborn baby. And as you can see, there is a giant heatsink and a big fan inside. It doesn't have any modes or adjustments, but it's really quiet all the time. Take a listen. Oh, and almost forgot, this light is 100% flicker-free as well. Aputure also did send me the Light Dome Mini SE, which is a 55cm fast to assemble and disassemble softbox. Here you can see the difference between a 90cm softbox and the Light Dome Mini SE. And to be honest, I really like the results produced by a small dome. I thought it would give much more harsh shadows. Totally usable for talking head shots, and the build quality is just superb. So let's compare the 150C to a 220 watt bicolor light Colbor CL220 in CCT mode. Not super fair comparison, but you'll at least get how much brighter the dedicated 220 watts bicolor LED light without RGB LEDs can get. And keep in mind that we are at f11 aperture. As you can tell, Amaran 150C has much more even spread and no hotspot while using a kit reflector, which is really important, and when you use it bare bones, the difference in brightness isn't that huge, and also there is no color cast towards the edges of the beam. Now let's compare Amaran 150C to my RGB light of choice, Sokani X60, an 80-watt light, which I use primarily for colorful accents. Without a reflector, Sokani X60 seems even brighter, but things get much more interesting when you try to use a kit reflector. At the first glance, Sokani X60 is getting brighter and we start to see a hotspot in the middle, but when we take a closer look at the edges of the beam, things start to fall apart, and I would say the Sokani light is unusable with a reflector in RGB mode, especially if you want to light bigger surfaces, whereas Amaran 150C gives you a nice even beam with good fall-off even at the edges. It only gets worse when you try to mix different colors on Sokani X60, like red and blue in this case. The edges get additional colorful reflections, but Amaran still holds up well, with just a tiny hint of a hotspot in the middle. Of course, Amaran 150C also features a lot of colorful customizable effects, but I'm sure you're all familiar with those. No matter Aputure did send me this light for review, I truly think that for $360, it's one of the best bangs for a buck on the market for such a versatile light, and I can highly recommend it as a first light for your kit. So you could try out new interesting things with RGB mode, plus green magenta compensation is really important, plus plenty of firepower for beginners' needs. By the way, which COB light do you use and why? And can Amaran 150C fit your kit? Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like and subscribe buttons. Wanna know how 60W, 100W and 150W lights compare and which one is the best pick for studio needs? Watch the next video. Take care, bye.